Welcome back to the iceHQ Ice Arena in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri traditional land, where we are having the CCM National Women's Tournament this evening, the first day of 3 days of competition, and we're up to the second round tonight. All teams have now had one game each, and the game we have now, which is the first game of the second round, and it's between the Melbourne Flaming Galahs and the West Australian Ice Quokkas. The Melbourne Flaming Galahs won their last game 5-1 against the Melbourne Furies, and the Ice Quokkas had a good win 3-0 over the Adelaide Wolves. So both teams undefeated at this point. The Flaming Galahs wearing white with pink logos, and the West Australian Ice Quokkas in the traditional West Australian bumblebee, the black and yellow and white, and it's a fantastic looking jersey. And as we were saying earlier, this evening, we are absolutely delighted to have a team made its way all the way over from West Australia to come here and play hockey with us. We hope we make you all very, very welcome, and we're absolutely delighted to have you here with us. The Flaming Galahs, pretty good team. They are the goaltender in particular. Alex Slade-Baker had a great game for the last game, with a number of quality shots which he managed to make the save on. They were just a little bit lacking in crispness. Their main danger players, Zara Dennis, number 8, and Jojo Meissner, number 49, two particularly effective players they had in the last game. But they're just a little bit sloppy in defence, which they need to tidy up. I'm sure they've had a couple of hours now to think about it, try and clear the puck out more and just be a little bit better organised. And I'm sure too the West Australian team, travelling all this way, it's a long way to travel, and they need to be a bit sharper this time in their defence as well, and I'm sure they will. They will have learned a lot from that first game. Now they know the standard of competition and also getting used to this rink. Every rink has its subtle differences. We like to think that this is one of the best hockey rinks in the country. It is a hockey rink. What we do here is hockey. There's some other skating that happens here as well, but we mostly ignore that. It's a hockey rink.
They just pay the bills.
Some other dancing around stuff, I don't know. But this is a hockey rink, absolutely, and we live, eat, sleep and breathe the game, and hopefully that...
greatest game on earth.
It is most fun you can have standing up, is the way I describe it.
Sometimes even falling over, it could be quite good.
Try not to fall over, but it certainly does happen. So we'll be underway very shortly. The first round, we had a few breaks for photos and so forth, which is nice to have, and I'm sure they'll all be available on the various social media pages that get popped up out of here fairly regularly. I think there's a page or a group or something or other, or probably Instagram or whichever form of social media it is that's popping up these days. They seem to change so quickly.
Well, this is the inaugural annual CCM National Women's Tournament.
And it's the first one.
Yes, and it's inaugural and it's the first one, that's right.
And if anyone says penultimate to me, I smack them. It's the second last. You don't, anyway. It's
no. So I would say that even this early in the tournament, I think we can judge it a success. And I think the initial feedback from the players that I've been speaking to just in between games, just getting out and chatting to a few of the players and a few of the team staff, the feedback is fantastic. Everybody's enjoying themselves, everybody's having a good time.
And we're seeing some pretty good hockey too.
We are. And it's relatively even. I mean, I know the last game was a little bit of a blowout. Was it 8-2 in the end?
9-2.
9-2. But, other than that, I think we're seeing some good even play. And I think this game here that we're about to see, I think is going to be a good even matchup between these two teams.
We're about to get underway at the top of the puck. As away, and the puck drop won by West Australia. Underway through the neutral zone, across puck upside to Harper, looking for an opportunity to get an early shot, perhaps inspired. And they do, they get that early shot on quick, but it just pings off the side of the net. Now the Galahs with the breakout through Nadimov. She tries to get the puck out, and the Flaming Galahs drive it in deep. And we're seeing that danger player in Jojo driving deep into the corner. She's got electrifying speed. And if you can just see there, the Flaming Galahs with the player just floating around loose in the slot unmarked. That's something the West Australians will have to do something about. They can't let that happen.
Yeah, again, in the last game they were guilty of collapsing defensively, so they need to make sure they just do not do that this time around. If they are
going to collapse, they better own the slot.
Yeah.
And that's what they weren't doing. So they've got to be a bit mindful that they can't let loose players float around in that position. Nice little shot in, but deflected by defensive pressure, and the West Australian goalkeeper in Madeline Smith makes that one look pretty easy in the end. 1 minute into the game.
So good defensive play there from WA, just breaking up Meissner's shot and just allowing goaltender there to glove it comfortably.
West Australians win the face-off with an interesting choice there, but here we have a straight blow past from the West Australians diving in deep, and that's Seen, who played so well in that last game. She's fast and she's furious, and I love the way she plays.
Great speed.
She's moving around constantly in the slot too, keeping that Fury's defence constantly under pressure. Sorry, not Furies, the Flaming Galahs. I'll get that right in a minute. I wish they'd choose easier names. But they didn't. A nice shot from the Flaming Galahs across the front of the net. West Australian Ice Quokkas, can they clear it out up the side of the boards? But it's stopped there by the Flaming Galahs D, and there's a bit of a puck board battle going on. But they did overcommit to it a little bit, and now we have a 2-on-1 for West Australia. Can they stay on side? They do. 2-on-1 situations. They're charging for the net. Oh, and the shot over the top, just over the top of the net. Good opportunity there for them there. That's that real threat that the Flaming Galahs need to protect themselves from. If they do overextend in attack, they end up exposed behind, and then you get situations like that, and that's where the easy goals are found.
We're seeing a much better defensive formation from the Quokkas there, and you can see Ange Seen staying high, not collapsing down, and what that led to was a 2-on-1 down the other end.
Absolutely, and that's the single most dangerous scoring opportunity is an odd player rush. Poynton just taking the puck off Seen, who probably needs to get a change. She's been on for a while now.
She has. A good stick lift there from Poynton.
Yeah. Poynton, a very experienced player. She's coached at quite an elite level for quite a number of years as well. She knows the game backwards.
Hannah Everly there with a good attacking play.
They're going to get an icing here. No, it's cleared off. No icing. Puck goes all the way down the other end for the Flaming Galahs to clean up. Nice rim around the boards. Good safe option. And now the Flaming Galahs with a chance to counter-attack down the side. Poynton with a stick lift trying to steal the puck from
she does it too.
Quokka, and a nice pass across the front, but Zara Dennis not quite able to pick up on that one, but she's in good position. They're combining well, those two, Zara and Emma.
So that's Poynton and Everly.
Say again?
Is it?
No, Zara Dennis.
Oh, right.
Zara Dennis for the Flaming Galahs. She's wearing number 8. She's a very dangerous player. Nadimov goes for the high challenge, and we have a stick up for. It was right in front of me, and I don't know what that was for.
I didn't actually catch the signal,
No,
but it might have been
offside.
maybe it was an offside.
It was an offside, so no foul there at all. That's why I was confused about it. Was against Anna, but no, it was Nadimov did a good job of forcing the offside. Harper tries to bust through for the West Australians, but the Flaming Galahs steal it back and break down the right-hand side in numbers. Good defence there from West Australian defence, holding the line.
Good power move, but that goalie, Madeline Smith, covers up.
Yeah, I've got to say, very good structured defence there from the West Australian ladies. That was good work.
Much better than in the last game. So I think Coach Kosala over there on the bench has obviously been just drilling that into them in between games, just that importance to hold your formation, hold your positions defensively.
And that goes for that shot in from the point. Nice work with that, but she's pressured by Harper up high, who's looking for the puck again, and now tries to break out down the outside. Harper manages to put the puck out, but the Flaming Galahs back in numbers. 1-4 checker for the West Australian girls. And Harper's a big physical presence too. You want to be, she's not giving a backward step.
No.
She's leading her team by example and saying, you know what, it's my puck, I'm going to take it. If you want to take it off me, I'm not going to make it easy for you. And she gets a wrister in from the point, but swallowed up by Alex Slade-Baker, who makes it look fairly easy. Pretty even game so far. Craig, I'm liking this one. It's got some passion in it too. The team's showing a bit of aggression, which is good to see. Not silly, but you know.
Tough travel day too for WA today. I mean, they flew in earlier in the day, so it's a long flight from Perth, and they've had not one but 2 games. And their first game was the goal,
and the rebound picked up, and the West Australians on the scoreboard.
Thanks to Jenna Mitchell, great shot too. Alex Slade-Baker had no answer for that shot.
It was a good setup with a player coming in from the high slot, just wristing it in, and then getting that opportunistic rebound. And if you're there to pick up the crumbs, pigeon goal's a goal. We all know pigeons, and pigeons love their goals. Absolutely, it was a good play, and that's the benefit of being in the right position and being unmarked. And good play there from West Australia, and they have got a 1 goal up. You could possibly say a little bit against the flow of the play. The Flaming Galahs have looked a little stronger, but that's what happens.
Absolutely. Jenna Mitchell again just battling on the boards, manages to get that puck in deep for Seen, who goes in after it.
Nice forecheck from Seen. She's really trying to put a lot of pressure on that Flaming Galah defence. As they break out now, Lauren McNabb looking for a chance to either run it up the boards. She plays up the middle ice instead. puck goes deep into the attacking zone for the Flaming Galahs. West Australians back in numbers, covering it up. They're leaving the points alone a little bit, but they are making sure that they own the slot, and that's good. Certainly good agility from their wingers moving up and down in styles there. She's doing a good job of covering her winger up and providing outlet options. If and when
Great
they get the
forecheck
puck.
there from Shelley Clarkson. Goes in after that puck and comes away with it.
Yep.
Players
Push
just
and shove there in the corner. Maybe a little bit lucky to get away with that, but there you go.
it's Chloe Sayers.
Sayers with a good break, but breaking back now for the Flaming Galahs, and they pop a little dribbler in on the net.
Shelley Tanti there working with,
And
was that Gwen Troon that was out on the ice there? No, that was Shelley Clarkson.
Wasn't much on that shot, but those weird bouncing, tumbling pucks, they can be pretty tricky to save.
That's right.
So goalies think, oh, I've got this, but no.
But Madeline Smith is very good down low, so anything down low there on the ice, she's got that pretty well covered.
Consistent play there by the Flaming Galahs, at just getting the puck out on the blue line and immediately firing it back in. Very Michael McMahon-esque there. They just get the puck and they've got one job to do and they do it well. That's really what it boils down to, keeping it simple and doing the simple stuff
No
well.
icing. Icing's been waved off by referee Andrew Crowther.
Nat Efimov goes back and cleans it up, looking for an opportunity to play safely up the boards. Puck comes back, Nat gets it again. This time she gets dispossessed. Maybe just trying to carry the puck just a little bit too much.
Oh.
And as a result, now the West Australians...
Accidental collision there, but it was so nice to see the two players just checking on each other, make sure that their opposing number was okay.
Have you still got all your teeth? No? Oh, well, that's unfortunate. And
Here comes Poynton.
And Zara Dennis in the slot looking
She's
to
got
pick
a
up the
player with her.
rebound.
She's got Z Dennis there, but sucked up by Madeline Smith, who says, nope, I'll take care of that. Thank you
Zara
very
was
much.
there for the rebound.
Some good speed there from Poynton.
If she wants to move, she can hoot along, that's for sure.
Yep.
We've got this attacking face-off now, won nicely by the Flaming Galahs. And on the point, they just keep driving it back in, but now we have...
It's a much, much better defensive organisation from the Quokkas.
From both teams, I think we're seeing a much better game than we saw first on. They've settled and got over that first game nerves, and they're playing a much more structured game. The coaches have had time to talk to them, no doubt. So, righto, you need to do this, do it better.
Good keeping from Storm. Look at that battle on those boards. Harper comes away with it. She's looking for a shooting option.
Harper fought her way through three, but eventually just ran into a wall of pink and white jerseys. There wasn't anything she could do from there. And
Storm's got to get back here.
Now we have an odd player rush. We've got a 3-on-2 situation for the Flaming Galahs. One on. But, not quite able to get a shot on the net.
So the net's been knocked off there, so there's no penalty or anything on the play. We just have a whistle and we'll have an end zone face-off.
Good little break there from the Flaming Galahs with a 3-on-2. 3-on-2 is a reasonably threatening situation. It's not as bad as a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-none or even worse, a 2-on-none. But it is a good opportunity. And they did get a shot on the net, and you just kept putting those shots on the net and wearing out the goalie, and then sooner or later in they go. The Galahs now with 8 shots, for the Quokkas 2, but the Quokkas with 1 goal to the Flaming Galahs none, with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first. Puck dribbles around the back for the Flaming Galahs, looking to pass up to the point, perhaps point totally unmarked. Lots of room and space, but the West Australian Ice Quokkas steal the puck, break around the defence, who was... possibly staying a little bit too long, and now we have a 2-on-1 situation for West Australia. Pass across the slot, not quite able to make the connection, the West Australians, and the puck now buried in the corner, where the Quokkas able to set up their structured defence, and now they break it out. And this time the Quokkas going, sorry, not the Quokkas, the Galahs going coast to coast, but it's a high shot to the glove side, which misses the net.
Well, actually, it was gloved there by the goalie, but she actually dropped it to let her team...
Just flicked it behind.
Yep, it was a smart move there. She doesn't want that end zone face-off, so she'd rather trust her D to get that puck out of her zone.
Seen moving in.
That's an icing coming up.
Nicely.
No icing there.
There's a well-contested puck now down deep for the West Australians, trying to clear the puck out. Good forechecking from the Ice Galahs, but not good enough as the Ice Quokkas clear the puck out, and they've got an opportunity now for a rush. But the Flaming Galahs back in numbers. And now the puck driven down the other end. No icing. The puck was didn't cross the red line in the middle.
Right.
So the play continues. West Australia clear the puck out. Clear the zone. Just. And now they have a 2-on-2, but the D pinching high again. I'm just not a fan of that one, Craig. I don't like seeing it. And as a result, the West Australians get that second effort and the third effort shot. Pretty unlucky there in the end not to get the goal, but the puck does pop out now, and they're all offside.
It was an aggressive defensive pinch. We've actually got an offside situation here, just a technical offside. Players still a little bit slow to clear the zone, and that puck had come out and gone back in while they were still in there.
So the thing that always upsets me about the defence challenging high is when it goes wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're going to get beaten 50% of the time, and when you do, it's catastrophic. And it happens because the forwards aren't back checking hard enough. As a result, the D comes up because they think they have to put pressure on the puck carrier, and they're doing that.
Yeah, another goal there from Cameron.
And then that sort of thing happens.
2-0 now to the Quokkas.
So 2 up. You'd have to say that the Flaming Galahs have had the run of the game, but the Ice Quokkas are getting the opportunities and capitalising on them better.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, we see a goal here where the player gets that goalie moving to the goalie's right, and then they shoot to the goalie's left. And it's an effective, very effective shot. Doesn't have to be hard.
So Slade Baker finding herself in a position she's not used to, which is
2 goals down.
2 goals down. She wouldn't be liking that very much. She's a good goalie and she'd be unhappy with that. But again, there was nothing she could do about it. They were just good shots and from odd player rushes. And what do you do?
Yeah. Good hard defensive play there on the boards, and we see some bodies hitting the ice, but there's no call, like you mentioned earlier. This is not a non-checking game. It's a non-contact game. It's a non-checking game. So, a bit of body contact is
the difference
perfectly okay.
Seems subtle, but is actually quite significant.
When you see it, you'll know.
We haven't seen anyone give a full body check, and we probably won't. But you never know. It can happen.
Fingers crossed. We'll see it.
2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, game misconduct, whichever. West Australia clears the
That's
puck out and the Flaming Galahs are all offside.
Stay on, yep. So we finally get the whistle. A bit of a late whistle there from Zach Searle.
But, it was a bit late making that call, wasn't he?
There was no signal initially. I think he was waiting for, I think it was again one of those situations you sometimes get with a 2-man referee system.
Yep.
As it looks like there's going to be a breakout out of a zone, the back referee will start to cheat backwards. He'll leave that blue line. If there's a turnover at that blue line or a keep-in at the blue line, there's actually no referee in position.
Essentially, there's no one watching.
Potentially, there's no one watching. Now, it's the flaw in the 2-man referee system.
Now, you never want to tell a goon that there's a time when they're not being watched.
Well, it's not so much for the fighting; it's just the offsides. So yeah.
Speaking as a goon. Puck deep into the corner now. West Australians going to dig it out in their defensive zone, trying to clear the puck out and give themselves another chance to get a goal. They do have a 2-goal lead at the moment with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. They've done pretty well. Now they're looking just to clear the puck out, but just fanning on the pass.
I think it's your favourite player, Brewer, out there.
She's pretty good. We're not related.
No relation.
No relation. There's that high check.
Brittany Mendham has really got some wheels. Oh, here she goes. Gets a rebound. Great save there from Smith. Brittany Mendham is one of the most dangerous players on the Galahs team.
What you're seeing there, though, is another example of the defence challenging high and getting beaten.
Yeah.
And it's essentially a very poor decision from a defensive player. And you see it at every level of hockey. Defensive player sees a player skating up to them with a puck and they think they have to challenge them there. But what that does mean is if they get past them, and a lot of times they do, then you've got a goalie defending on a one-on-one.
There's no plan B. No,
exactly. There's no backup. So it's
usually
a failure of the forwards back-checking and putting pressure on that player. You're going to put pressure on them if you think you have to.
Oh, absolutely.
But if there's someone else putting pressure on them, you won't. You go back and do your job. So if the forwards do their back-checking job properly, it's less likely to happen.
This is going to be an icing.
Yep, all the way down the other end of the rink. Crowther with the whistle. Yep, blows it up, and back we go for a defensive zone face-off for the West Australians, who can't get a change. Fresh legs for the Galahs.
There's an interesting thing on that icing there, actually. I'm just going to point this out. So we've got Kathy Costello, who's a defenseman there defender for the Flaming Galahs. She stopped skating because she thought this is beer league icing and the whistle's going to go,
and it's
whatever.
not beer league.
It's not beer league, and we are actually running hybrid icing. And Brewer had her skates on then. She was moving fast, and Costello's lucky that Brewer didn't actually overtake her and wave off that icing.
Yep. Your instincts go to the things that you practice, and that concludes the first period of this matchup between the Melbourne Flaming Galahs and the West Australian Ice Quokkas. The score: 2 goals to the Quokkas, none to the Flaming Galahs so far. One goal to Jenna Mitchell and another goal to Jenna Mitchell, one unassisted and one assisted by Chloe Sayers. Shots on so far, Melbourne Flaming Galahs 10 to the Quokkas 5, which would suggest that the Galahs have had more of the run of the game. And you'd have to say that was the case. They probably have.
Oh, they have.
But they haven't been able to capitalise, and they've let...
I think Madeline Smith has done an outstanding job in net for the Quokkas.
They have, and they've also let some of those high-quality shots through because they've been fast breaks.
Yep.
And we know how dangerous they are. So there's an old saying in hockey, organised defence is very difficult to score against. And it is if you can create chaos and break up the defence in whatever way, shape or form you can, which includes odd play rushes, and it includes getting loose players and circulating around and generally creating chaos, and that's when the opportunities arise. Second period will be up shortly. So just to... Oh, I've completely lost my train of thought. That's all good.
I'm seeing a lot more structure from the Quokkas in this game.
Yes.
A lot more defensive structure, and you see this if you watch Ange Seam. She's staying high. She's marking a player one-on-one, but at the same time, while that's taking away that attacking option for the Galahs, it's also giving an attacking option to the Quokkas.
Absolutely.
Because when they do get that turnover in their zone, then Sean, who's one of their fastest players, is already high. She's out there in front.
On the burst, looking for that breakaway.
Exactly.
And that's perfect play with the...
So Holman versus Poynton at this face-off. Poynton wins it.
Straight through to Dennis, and she looks to get the shot away. Rips it on the
too.
net.
Good shot, good quality shot. Oh, follows up. Good hard contact into the boards. Dennis not too happy with that, but there's no call on that play.
She plays with the boys. I don't think she'll be too worried.
There we go. And Storm's now got the puck, and she clears the zone to Holman.
2-on-2 situation. There's that high challenge again, and the high challenge gets beaten.
It was a good defensive play there from Thea Jones, wasn't it?
Oh, a bit lucky. It all depends on where you make that challenge. So if you look at the face-off dots, I'm not going to the technicalities. It's too hard to describe without a whiteboard. But managing where your defensive players make their challenges is critically important to protect your goalie. Up goes the puck out of the zone, but not quite cleared. Nice work there.
Storm keeps it in. And again, Storm knocks a player down accidentally. She left it a little bit careful. But at this point, the referees are happy to let this go.
Legitimate contest for the puck.
Now we've got Taylor and Steele trying to organise a 2-on-1. Steele loose in front. That puck just...
we all lost sight of it, I think.
Bobbled away, and Slade Baker was able to just steer it away from the net. A lot of physicality against those boards.
So one thing I'm really noticing about Jojo Meissner's play...
Meissner, well, no call. Oh, we do have a call on that play.
Been dragged
definitely
down.
A call on that. And it looks like it's going to be Ashley Gagnon who's going to the net for the Quokkas. He gets a stick up high around Meissner and then ends up dragging it down.
If you watch Jojo play too, you'll see that she's got great vision, but not only that, she gets the basics really right. She's always got a stick on the ice. She's always cycling around, always looking for those opportunities, and she's always a good passing option. And that's these are the basics you take to beginners players, and they never get it right. And she does it so well all the time. She's got a stick on the ice.
Yep.
She's watching the play. She's never taken by surprise.
Doing those simple things, the little things, but doing them very well.
Absolutely. Like you can see, just skating back, sticks on the ice, watching the play all the time.
Yep. 2 hands on the stick. Just the basics. And we've got another call. So we have 5-on-3 or 4-on-4 here. It looks like we're going...
No, I think that was an offside.
An offside, was it? Okay.
No penalty on that. But we are getting to see the Flaming Galahs power play. And we're getting to see, I think for the first time, the Icequokkas penalty kill too. I don't think we've seen it before. I can't remember exactly from the previous game.
They've been fairly well-disciplined team.
There's always that... The trip is always the harsh one because the referee has no discretion. If you accidentally trip someone up, they have to ping you.
It was a penalty that had to be taken. Meissner is one of the most dangerous players on the Galahs team, and Gagnon knew that she was going in basically one-on-one.
Yep.
So it was one of those penalties where the coach will probably give you a little pat on the back and say, "Yep, you got to take that one."
Jojo Meissner going through on her own, but runs into a wall of black and yellow. Sorry. And the West Australians rim the puck around the board, but straight up to the point.
This is a good PK from the Quokkas. Well organised, and they're looking for that loose pass across the slot. And it was just picked off there and sent down the other end.
By dumping the puck down, you just run the clock down. They've got 35 seconds to go on the penalty kill. And the D are collapsing back into a nice structure. Everyone loses their feet and goes feet first into boards, but fortunately no one breaks a leg. Last hurrah for the Quokkas there on the penalty with 16 seconds to go.
Good keeping there from Tanti, and now Costello, who takes a shot down, goes into the corners. Again, good physical play. You just lock your player up against the boards and just pin them against the boards. You're perfectly entitled to do that. Oh, that was
a little bit
lucky there. So we've got a whistle from the referee. He thought the puck was covered. It had actually squirted out to the far face-off dot. But unfortunately, that happens.
The power play is over, and the iceHQ have successfully killed the penalty, which they'll be happy about. Shots on the net have evened up a little bit now. It's now 11 shots to the glass to 7 to the iceHQ, and we have the West Australian iceHQ with a 2-0 lead in the second period. Puck down deep in the corner, in defensive for the iceHQ as they try to clear the puck out, and they do. And here's Scene, and she's got room to move. What can she do? She's got a little bit of it. Unfortunately, she just leaves the puck behind. It was a great chance. We make chances, chances are good.
She literally is faster than the puck.
Yep, in that case she was, that's for sure. Or at least she left it behind. Puck comes out now, but the Flaming Galahs get a chance. Lauren McNabb on the forechap coming through to try and pick it off. But nicely read by the West Australian defence. They just took their time, waited till she committed, and then moved the puck away. Not so good there on the clearance, however. That's a bit of a mistake, and I tell you what, they're lucky to get away with that one.
Smith cleaning up some errors there. That was perhaps, I would suggest, unfamiliarity with the rink.
Unfamiliar with any rink.
It's possible, yeah. It's not a
that's
not
a bit of
not
an
a good angle, that one.
That's a bit of an oops moment, but she got away with it. She went back and tied it up. She realised she'd made a horrible mistake and fixed it. And that's we all make horrible mistakes during games of hockey, but if you can maintain your composure and repair the damage, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. No, it wasn't just the defender there.
Back up to the point.
Wasn't just the defender that was taken by surprise by that. Smith was also surprised.
Everyone was, what just happened?
I think the rink that they play at in Perth, a shot like that. Oh, was that Poynton? Poynton with a shot.
Snuck one through traffic. And yep. Not sure if that was Poynton or
I think it was Poynton because she's doing the bench roll. Dennis comes in now to celebrate with the team.
But nice shot through traffic. We'll see that on the replay here. Hopefully we'll see that on the replay. We'll see there's a lot of traffic in front of the West Australian goaltender. Pretty hard to see when the puck's coming from. Right, we've got well screened, so goalie had no chance. He didn't even know that was coming. We get an offside now for the Flaming Galahs, but the score now 2-1 in favour of the iceHQ. Visitors from sunny Perth, as opposed to Melbourne, which has been pretty much underwater for the last month and a half.
A little bit. We've had some sun the last few days, thank God.
You should have seen the rain at my place today. Anyway.
Really?
My dog was terrified.
Your dog is evolving gills.
Just about. Anyway, here we go. And the iceHQ come back to clean it up in defence. Sampson trying to play the puck around the net. Gets robbed by one of the Flaming Galahs who looks for the pass across the front. It was a great option. Just didn't quite make the connection. Now the puck comes out for West Australia in Cameron, and she tries to break up the middle, but runs into a wall of white and pink. And it goes back the other way for round 3, and now we have
Here comes
West
Mitchell
Australia
again.
player on her own, and she's looking for an opportunity. She runs into traffic again. A lot of puck carrying. And now the Flaming Galahs get a chance to break it out in the opposite direction. And this time it's Jojo, and she's gone coast to coast and goes across the net. And
there we go.
Effort,
tucked away.
and we're all square
at
at 2 goals apiece.
Mendham from Meissner. What a great goal. The Meissner just carrying that puck into the net, gets that rebound, and Mendham goes, thank you very much, I'll take that.
And we're all squared up at 2 goals apiece now, with 7 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the second period of this battle between the Melbourne Flaming Galahs and the West Australian iceHQ. So we're all squared up. It may as well be 0-0. Away we go, and the West Australians win the face-off. Board battle, and then up the middle with Zuck. She's got a chance now to get the pass across into the corner and set up a triangle attack. Can they get a pass across to the slot? There's a loose puck bobbling around. Has anyone wanted enough to get it? Still loose, and the Flaming Galahs managed to retrieve possession and break it out of their zone. But heavily pressured was Shelley Clarkson there. waving her hands around a little bit in the air too. She wants to be a bit careful. Can get done for that.
Danica Zook's doing a good job there on Clarkson just to tie her up and just steer her into the boards.
Just generally whacking people in the face is kind of frowned on.
In certain circles.
The West Australians now with loads of room coming across the front.
Nice
But they do
pass.
run into that's a good example there of defence moving back and just shutting down the options there by the the Flaming Galahs. They did a good job there in their defensive structure. And we have
We've got a call
trip.
here. I think we might have our first body checking call on number 44 for the Flaming Galahs, who's Lauren McNabb.
Would you call that I'm not sure. Might have called that a trip or maybe an interference. I guess we'll see.
No, it's actually called one of the Western Australian players for roughing.
That's a surprise. Not even sure we saw the incident.
Yeah, just here. Yeah.
Must have referee's eye. I was watching the game. So we now have the West Australians on their second penalty kill. And they successfully prevent the goal. They're all tied up on the boards at the moment. At least one of them wants to get out of there and get back into their structure as the puck comes across to Zara Dennis with a load of room. Oh, she fans on the shot though. Just took a little bit too long getting away. The puck bobbles out the front and he's tidied
I
up.
think we've got a Perth player who's very slow to get up here. She's just checking her hamstring. She's got a bit of
she got a bit tangled up with Zara Dennis there.
She did, and
she seems to be okay.
She's not coming off. She's just stretching out that hamstring. Now she's taking the face off. So
puck pops into the middle for the Flaming Galahs, setting up their power play. Zara Dennis deep in the corner, looks for the cross ice pass. And it's cleaned up again by Madeline Smith with a nice piece of goaltending. Will we see a line change? No, they're all staying on the ice. A couple of West Australians.
Got a couple of the Quokkas coming out to.
There's going to be a little bit of gamesmanship because it's not a stop clock. And if you take just a little bit longer, the 10 seconds of this, just runs the clock down.
And the Quokkas coach is a very experienced.
He knows all the tricks.
Ex-professional hockey player from the Hungarian leagues.
And now the West Australians dump it all the way down the other end. 42 seconds to go on the power play for the Flaming Galahs. The score all tied up at 2 goals apiece. West Australia with the penalty to kill. Just a little bit of a not quite clear the puck thing there.
Dennis takes advantage of that sloppy clear.
She does, absolutely, as well you would. And that was Kay Brewer there. Just not quite clearing the puck out. Just should be a little bit disappointed by that. But now they get an opportunity to clear the puck out. And they've got a breakaway in Harper with a chance now to get down and get a shot on the net through a wall of traffic. But nice work. But great play there by Harper with a good breakthrough. A lot of traffic, managed to retain the possession. And that's still the penalty.
Some afters there. Harper is not happy. She takes a bit of she pushes Slade Baker on the back. Yep. Slade Baker retaliates with a bit of a slash, as I would.
It's kill the penalty.
But the referee is happy just to let the two players sort it out themselves. I think Harper was arguing that the puck was in fact loose and that Slade Baker didn't have it covered.
There's some confusion going on with players on the bench. I'm personally not a huge fan of when you're in a defensive rush like this, a player immediately leaving the ice. It's just exposed them. Should have just jumped on and played. I honestly don't know why people do that. You've been sitting there for 2 minutes, you're fresh as a daisy.
Well, sometimes the instructions from the bench can be, we don't want you out on this line, but you need to be ready to react to the game situation.
You've got to respond to reality, not the desires of your coach. Sometimes they're the same. I coach and I play, and I know that things are different.
Brewer here with the puck.
Down the middle, but poked away by...
great defensive play there from Shelley Tanti again. She's been very, very strong on defence tonight for the Galahs.
She has, absolutely. 2 goals apiece with 2 minutes to play in the second period.
Accidental collision there. 2 players going down, but no call.
Nice pad save.
Covered by Smith.
Smith with a very nice pad save on that shot. And
again, Brittany Mendham looking very dangerous. She's got speed. She challenges the goalie, moves to the centre ice.
Smith up to it so far. She's done a good job with that pad save. That was a ripper.
Yeah. But the Quokkas need to be very mindful when number 13 is on the ice for the Flaming Galahs.
They've had the run of the game. They're 18 shots to 8. which is starting to tell a compelling story. But it doesn't mean they're all their own way, as we know. Looking at the scoreboard, it's all tied up at 2 goals apiece. The question is, will they have the energy through the second and the third? We're almost at the end of the second period with just over a minute to go. They have travelled today and already played a game, but the Flaming Galahs have also played a game, and some of them have been to work today as well, and that makes a difference too. So travelling is one type of fatigue, and sitting at a desk or whatever it is you do for a job, that can be pretty fatiguing as well.
Yeah.
So these things do make a difference to how you can go as the evening wears on. West Australia now with 55 seconds on the clock trying to clear it out of the zone, but they don't want to ice it, they want to play it. Here they go, they've got a 3-on-2
situation.
Are they going to use it?
So far, not too bad. Samson looking for a shooting opportunity, but...
wanted to get that shot away a little earlier, I would have thought, but at least they did get something happening, and that's good.
Maverick there with a good job keeping that puck in.
Now the Flaming Galahs with an opportunity for a fast break, but got to go just a little bit quicker to get it. 30 seconds to go on the clock in this second period, 2 goals apiece. Puck down in a board battle on the near the entry gate to the rink, as the West Australians trying to break it out, but a good turnaround there and steal by the Galahs with Lauren McNabb in front of the net. Lauren McNabb puts it in the net.
More bad habits by the Quokkas there. They're leaving that slot unguarded. 2 Galahs players alone in the slot.
Yep, you can't do that and expect to get away with it for long. So that gets the Flaming Galahs to 3-2, and that will end the second period. We have a 1-minute break now, which has been kind of stretched out a bit. That's why we're running a little bit late.
What a comeback by the Galahs from 2-0 down. 3 goals unanswered.
But they had the run of the game. That's the thing. If the goal scores don't always reflect the way the game's actually flowing until the final whistle when it really matters. But 3-2 now to the Flaming Galahs. In terms of shots on the net, we have 19 shots to the Flaming Galahs to 8 to the Quokkas, so more than twice as many shots on the net. And that does start to become a meaningful statistic when it blows out to that sort of level. In the first period, Jenna Mitchell for the West Australian Ice Quokkas scored 2 goals, 1 assisted by Chloe Sayers. But in the second, it was all Flaming Galahs. Emma Poynton assisted by Zara Dennis, Brittany Mendham assisted by Joanna Meissner, and Lauren McNabb assisted by Amy Murphy with that one in the dying seconds of the second period. Lessons for the Quokkas there. They've got to keep those loose players unmarked. Sorry, they've got to get those loose players marked in the slot, make sure they are collapsing back, but they've got to stay on them. Their counter-attack is great when they get it. They're getting really good opportunities. Get those shots on just a little bit earlier. They're getting...
Hockey is a game of simple one-on-ones.
Yep.
You find your opposing player and you stay on them.
And if they get away from you, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And the third period gets underway in just a few seconds. Just to remind you, if you're not aware of the colours of the jerseys, then Flaming Galahs wearing white with pink logos, and the West Australians in the traditional bumblebee, the black and yellow and white. And it's a very good looking jersey indeed as they get underway now. They've got a 3-on-2 situation. Will they get a shot? Just corralled out into the corner and the puck goes out behind the net. I'd like to see them shoot a bit more, Craig, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they are being defended pretty well, and you can see Jones and Poynton there on defence there.
All the more reason to get the earlier shot away and go in and get those rebounds. These goalies, if you shoot low on them, they will cough rebounds. But if you don't, they definitely won't. I think they're just trying to carry the puck just a little bit too much.
Yeah. Just trying to make the adjustment to the speed of the tournament and the level of intensity that they're getting.
Poynton with a good shot, just showing exactly that. She gets a shot in, she gets the rebound, and they create opportunities. Now,
great save from Smith there.
She's calling for a turnover, but you can see there, that's getting the shot away.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a great shot, but it's a shot on the net. You get the rebound, you get the opportunities. And no one wants to be that guy in the crowd yelling out shoot as soon as you get the puck, but they do need that shooting mentality. And sometimes it's just been a bit shy. You think, well, if I shoot it doesn't go in, am I going to look like an idiot?
Coaching by Lil John. Shots, shots, shots.
But at the same time, if you don't shoot it, it's simply not going to go in. If you carry it for too long, you end up running into a wall of tea. Or worse, forgetting the puck and leaving it behind. And then you do look like an idiot. I did it again.
I'm just watching this battle in front of the net there, so you can actually see the Galahs player down in Smith's crease. And Smith is not happy about that. So she's taking the opportunity to give her a few good chops across the back of the ankles just to,
you come into my house,
That's
you
right.
pay the rent.
I think that was Meissner down there, copping all that attention from Smith, but it's not affecting her. Here comes Meissner now, carrying that puck in. It's forced out wide.
So now the West Australians back occupying that space a lot better. They've got.
Well, this is what I
all
mean.
their
They're still, they're collapsing, but that's where their opponents are. So
Yep.
that's where they need to be. So
Sooner or later, that's where they end up. If you're in front of the net, that's where your opposition wants to be.
but again, we now have 3 Quokkas players on 1 Galahs player. This is not smart.
They've got a
defensive
breakaway
play,
though. They've got a 2-on-1.
They got away with it.
Oh, seen there, not quite picked up the puck. She had a chance to, but elected to go to try and receive the pass instead. But a nice shot in from a distance.
And it goes in.
And that's gone through traffic, and it's gone through the goalie, and it's gone into the net. And we are tied up at 3 goals apiece in the third period in this game between the Flaming Galahs and the Ice Quokkas.
Jenna Mitchell and
3-3
Angela Seen combining again. And I think it might have been Ange Seen may have got a touch on that puck.
I started that play, I thought she'd made a mistake by cutting to the slot instead of going for that pickup, but it ended up being the right decision. Oh, I know about hockey.
Well,
Idiot.
I got to give credit to Mitchell too, because she did a great thing. She actually kept that shot on the ice, and you'd be surprised that they go in more often than trying to shoot top shelf.
Keep it low from a distance. That's where the chances are. Absolutely. West Australians win the break, win the face-off, and with 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go, it's all tied up at 3 goals apiece. Ice Quokkas now breaking it down with numbers. They've got a 4-on-2 situation. But the West Australian defence gets back in time and tidies up the mess. Puck bobbles out now. Good shot in from the point, but deflected off the West Australians, and they bring it out quickly. And here's a good forechecking opportunity for Holman, but not quite able to get to the puck. Just beaten to it by the Flaming Galah defence. And a little bit of push and shove across the net, but it was a fair contest for the puck. Again, this is non-checking, not non-contact. You are allowed to hold your line.
Holman playing that puck from the ice, just reaching out and just swiping at it with her stick, manages to get it out of the zone.
Tied up puck in the corner, a bit of a board battle. Everyone going in for it.
Good battle, good grind.
We're going to, West Australians playing it around the back of the net into traffic. Managed to get the puck through the legs of the Flaming Galah forechecker. Puck out through the top of the neutral zone, and we have a whistle.
We got a body check. And this is on Shelley Clarkson from the Flaming Galahs.
Yep. So this time we're going to get to see the West Australians power play and the Flaming Galahs penalty kill. We'll see how that works out. How will they set up? What structure will they use? How aggressive will they forecheck? It's tied up at 3-3 with 10 minutes to go. Do they play it out and then try and get back when they're even strength, or do they go for shorty?
Well, they put the Zucks line out there with Mitchell again. And Mitchell, of course, is one of their big goal scorers. So they'll be looking to make the Galahs pay on this penalty.
Zara Dennis takes it through just about everyone. Gets shuffled down into the corner, though. She's got 5 West Australians to try and deal with. Now they're exposed, the West Australians with a chance. The puck comes out, so the Galahs all offside.
An icing here by the Quokkas. It's not what you want to do when you're on the power play, but it's waved off by the referee.
Galahs around the back of the net. Looking for that opportunity for the cross-ice pass. There it is. Not quite as smooth as they would have liked, but it was a good opportunity. Poynton gets a bit tangled up in Tux's stick and goes over. Oh, there was a shot on there, number 83. I would have taken it. They pass across the front of the net.
That's Mitchell. That's their goal scorer.
Yep, trying to have a go, but puck pops out. There's a little bit of that, just being a bit shot shy. We have 1 minute to go on the penalty for the Flaming Galahs. And this time they've got a great opportunity.
With Mitchell. Here comes Mitchell.
Skates around, has a shot. Loose
the rebound is there. Harper gets it. She can't get the shot away.
It's still there. The rebound is still there.
Covered by Slade Baker, finally. Great shot by Mitchell. Great rebound. And there was a really good stick lift there from the Galahs player at just the right moment.
But the West
Australians saved a certain goal.
West Australians created a great opportunity there as well. So good play from both teams. This power play will be over very shortly. I think we've probably only got about 10 seconds or so left in it before Shelley Clarkson is back on the ice. See as soon as this replay gets itself over. We've got 20 seconds of the power play left. Seen now with a chance to go in, but she is robbed of the puck. Don't you hate having your pocket picked like that by Jojo, who just says, no, I'll have that, thank you very much. They get a nice shot on the net. And not quite a shorty, but a good chance for it. They've got a lot of players in deep. The penalty is over now, and we're back to 5-on-5 as Clarkson makes her way back onto the ice and immediately goes over the other side. And we have 5-on-5 hockey again. The Galahs deep in attack, but the puck does come out, so they're all offside. They have to clear the zone before they can go challenge. And now, bit of quiet play through the neutral zone. Do we have a trip or not?
No,
it's just
no
an accidental
call.
collision.
Just
No call on it.
a battle for a loose puck. 2 players going down. It was good. We're all onside.
Scene looking for more opportunities. She's starting to get a bit tired, I think, Scene. She's been a real electric bumblebee for the first 2 periods, but just a little bit of stings come out of her tail.
I think the players need to be aware that there's going to be a lot of games in the next 2 days, and so they do need to make sure they don't empty those tanks on this first day.
So it's always difficult for travelling teams too, because sleeping in an unfamiliar place, unfamiliar food. The coffee here is actually nice. That sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't
Plus,
know
of
coffee,
course, the after functions.
Yes.
Every night is going to be a long night.
Who knows what everyone's going to get up to in the motel room afterwards. Won't speculate on that.
Or the Moondog Brewery, perhaps.
Yep. West Australians clearing it out, and we have 7 minutes to go in the.
We're all onside still.
Third.
Clarkson
22
with the puck
shots
now.
to 11. Deep into the corner.
Jojo in front of the net, looking for that pass from
Now
Clarkson.
she's getting covered up. That's good play from the West Australians.
Smith drops
That's
early.
what they need to do.
No one marking Clarkson in front of the net. And finally, Mitchell gets back to.
There's a lot of watching where the puck is, and not a
Take
lot
some
of watching the
defensive
players.
response. This is the flaw, I think, in the Quokkas team, is that this is the one thing they need to work on. Stop chasing the puck in your own zone.
Or at least have your head on a swivel and watch where everyone is, not just. That's also partially the goalie's responsibility. The goalie can see that player there, and if they give a good yell, then they can fix that.
Yeah. I won't be the only one doing the yelling. There'll be plenty of yelling coming from the coach's bench. This is icing from the Galahs.
Yeah, it was just on the wrong side of the red line, and back it comes. 6 minutes to play in the third. We're all tied up at 3 goals apiece between the Flaming Galahs and the iceHQ. The Flaming Galahs with 22 shots to 11 to the Quokkas. They've outshot them 2-1. And it's fair to say they've had most of the run of the game, but the iceHQ have got 3 goals as well. It's all tied up.
The Quokkas have taken their opportunities when they're getting them.
They have. And they've done a good job of it. They've made good on those fast breaks. But they do need to tighten up their defence. They're a little bit vulnerable there at times. But show me a team that isn't. Sucks with a chance now, but runs into a wall. Puck bobbles out the back of it. Now the iceHQ with a chance to put it across the middle, but it's cleaned up by Poynton. And she brings it out, and the multiple collisions across the blue line. But now the Flaming Galahs get a shot, but just sprays across the front of the net. They organise that defensive structure and get things working properly. Puck rims around the back of the net for the iceHQ, who break it out.
Hannah Everly with a puck there. She dishes it off and then gets it back again, but
Run
gets
into each other.
unfortunately taken down by her own team. This is Harper. Everly passes it up to Harper, who gets it in deep.
Harper actually
goes
gets a
for a
shot away in
change.
the net. So it's a good example.
That's what you're talking about.
Yep, just get that shot on. Sometimes they go in, and at least it sets up an opportunity, especially when you're busting for a change. You want to get out of there.
Yep.
Just stick the thing on the net. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just get it on the net.
So Hannah Everly back in defence there. She's been involved in some physical battles tonight, which is she's come away best in most of them, but now we get an offside. Pretty straightforward offside there. Yes,
4 minutes.
Hannah Everly's really been not afraid to throw the body. And I would say that there's one or two of the Galahs players started to notice when she's out there on the ice with them.
Absolutely. They're not afraid of being a bit physical. As you say, this isn't netball. You are allowed to make contact with your opposition. Scene's still out and battling. She's on the ice at the moment, but she just looks like she's slowed down a little bit. Maybe she's had a bit of a hit or something. It's hard to say, but she's slowed down a little bit. I think that she gets
Zara
a sniff of it.
Dennis is a great opportunity there, but it gets taken away from her by Mitchell.
Puck bobbles out now. An opportunity 2-on-1 on the forecheck for the West Australians, but the Quokkas, sorry,
Icing.
not the Quokkas, the Galahs
No
clear it
icing.
out nicely.
Icing's waved off.
And that was Gwen Troon just managing to recover from dropping the puck and sort it out. She was under an aggressive forecheck by the West Australians, but managed to deal with it. Puck deep in attack for the Flaming Galahs, who are looking for that opportunity to try and get a shot on. Some slick puck handling, and a shot finally goes in on the net, but it's all cleaned up.
Oh, yeah, there's a whistle there. The Galahs player's not happy. The puck is in the net. There's no goal. There's no goal. It was actually covered there. The whistle went, but then there was a late poke.
Probably see it on the replay.
So see that shot come in. Smith just gives a shove there. She's got it covered there, but then
the whistle's blown and then the
whistle's blown and the puck's gone in after. So another save there from Mitchell.
Some referees would give you 2 minutes for that.
They might. They might. I think the argument might be that, yes, it might have been loose, it might have been covered. Who's to say? But the whistle's gone.
As soon as the whistle goes, you stop. Nice shot in from
Off
the Galahs.
the
Rims
net.
it off the post.
Mendham again with a quality scoring opportunity. And here comes Meissner.
So trying to leave dents in the backboard. You've got to put it on the net.
Mendham with a backhand and saved by Smith.
And with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play, we're still all tied up. 3 goals apiece.
Jojo Meissner and Brittany Mendham are just combining beautifully out there.
They are playing some nice hockey, but they do need to get those shots on the net. They've got lots on them, but they just bounce off the backboards. It doesn't even count as a shot.
The Quokkas
but some goalies will complain to you and say, oh, they're all these shots. Well, no, there wasn't.
Quokkas are tired here, and they're under sustained pressure from the Galahs.
Yep, Galahs
so there's 2 minutes to go in the game. It's a tied game. This is when the Quokkas need to dig deep.
It's that old thing. It's the first period's how keen you are, the second period's how fit you are, and the third period is how much heart you've got. And they're both showing a lot of heart at the moment. Quokkas just trying desperately to force the Galahs out wide, and they do. Manage to clear the puck out. Is it going to bobble out of the zone? No, it's kept in. But here's an opportunity for the Quokkas if they can do it. The Galahs caught offside through the neutral zone. Here comes the West Australians with an opportunity for a shot on the net. Little sneaky backhander, puck just loose, but safely kept by Alex Slade-Baker, who keeps it under her glove hand, under her stick hand, and saves the day for the Ice Quokkas. No, the Flaming Galahs. West Australia, Victoria, Melbourne, whatever. I apologise to any of you listening thinking, who is this idiot?
So this is what we're talking about too, with these, the Galahs team, sustained pressure down their end, but one quick turnover.
Yeah, that's all it
and
takes.
the Quokkas have got a quality shot on net.
We have 40 seconds to play. Puck deep in the attacking zone for the West Australians, but it pops out now, and Zara Dennis racing up to try and steal the puck from the West Australian defence, but they clear it out. Beautiful defensive play
clearance from Everly
by West Australia. Very nice work. Now they've got their chance. They put the puck into the middle of the neutral zone.
They've got to get this puck deep here.
So the question is, do they play for the win or do they play for the draw?
Here they
Puck's
go.
gone in deep.
Puck's in deep. Harper's going after it. Are we going to be able to get a shot before that buzzer goes?
Well, we see a defensive lapse. I don't think the Quokkas can win. So the Quokkas could possibly get it from here. They've got 5 seconds to go. 4.
Everly
3.
just needs to get this puck out of there. She's going to take a shot on net.
It's the big punt from the other end of the pitch.
Well,
and
this is going to complicate things when it comes to finals, because tie games, we're going to end up in a situation where there's going to be countbacks.
But I'll tell you one thing for free, it's great for the competition.
It is good for the competition.
You have tied games. Players don't like it much, but I tell you what, we love it. The ideal thing from the point of view of trying to get a domestic competition going is a close result every time, and the home team winning most of the time. Not all the time, because then it gets boring, but most of the time. If you're engineering a competition, that's how you do it. But for our purposes here, seeing 3-on-3 tie at this point, that's fantastic. It's a great outcome for hockey.
Good outcome. These were two very evenly matched teams.
They were, and they are.
Strengths and weaknesses in different places. I would say that Madeline Smith had done a fantastic job. She faced more than twice as many shots, and we've still ended up with a game all squared up on the scoreboard.
There is one more game for this evening, and that will be in about 10 minutes, and that will be between the Central Coast Stingrays with the very tired Gwyneth Blunt, who had a hell of a day. She had a hell of a day. And the Melbourne Furries, I think, are playing the next one, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, and that should be...
The Furies, I hope.
Yeah, Furies
or Furries?
It's which one's got a tail, the other one doesn't. And that's it. It was originally scheduled to be at 9:30, but we're running about 20 minutes out of time. So my guess would be around about 9:50, 9:55 for drop of the puck for that one at a guess. But that's just a guess. Don't hold me to it. And that will be the Central Coast Stingrays against the Melbourne Furies. And that will be an interesting contest as well. The Stingrays got 2 goals in their last game, and we saw just how effective Prochik and Bochka can be when they combine well together. and the Furies. Sam Hockey did a great job in goal for them as well and saved the day for them on a number of occasions. It's going to be an interesting tussle, that one.